Sure. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to our press release today, press conference today. Just want to take this opportunity to announce the coaching staff for the National Academy for 2013, 2012, 2013. Before I do that, I certainly want to just say that Scott Morton and Maurice Lowe have decided to take a break, so to speak, from coaching in the National Academy. They've had an extensive 3 years. We certainly thank them for the work that they have done. They certainly built a platform that our new staff can grow and build on. So from that point, we're looking to have Dennis Braun, Andrew Bascom, Macy O'Deal, Philip Bridges, Don Vickers, Gary Darrow, and Larry Smith. Those will all be working on the Boys Academy. That's from birth year players born 2001 through to 1995. And on the girls' side, we have Nikita Robinson, Aaron Denkins, Shanette Pirot, Benzie Zhu, who will be working in the girls' academy. And those will be players under 13 through to under 17 age groups. What's on the horizon for the national program certainly is next year, where we have Island Games for both men and women, and it's an international year for women, so that's under 17, under 20, and senior women. There's quite a few new initiatives that will be introduced in the year, and I'm actually going to hand over to the National Academy Director to talk a bit about what those new initiatives are.
As Mark indicated, obviously there will be some staffing changes within the academy. The departure of Scott and Maurice left holes with experience that we needed to fill. But I'm excited about the quality of the coaches who have come on board. All of them have shown and demonstrated a keen desire to continue to learn and to improve within their art of coaching. So we're excited and pleased with the quality of that group. There's an obvious reflection in terms of the increase staffing on the female side, and that is in direct relation to an increased focus to continue to develop and grow the girls program. So while we still have 7 age groups on the boys side, we are now expanding to 3 age groups on the girls side, where previously was just under 17. Our focus is going to be growing with an under 13 and an under 15 group, in addition to the under 17s. The goalkeeper trainers in Ray Glassford, Jay Smith, and Steve Gould is an added feature as well. So now that our National Academy players will be able to receive specialized goalkeeping training in dedicated weekly sessions. Beyond that, we recognize that at the grassroots level, not all clubs are equipped to provide this specialized focus to their players. So we will be opening the goalkeeping training up to all club players. All clubs and all schools who have youth players and maybe do not offer their services and training for their players can send them to the National Academy goalkeeping training on a weekly basis. So quite excited about that, because it gives us an extension toward the grassroots level in that aspect. One of the major changes is going to be to the weekly training schedule. Previously on the boys' side, the frequency was to train twice during the week. Reading some of the reports, the end of year reports from last year, one of the major concerns with regards to the National Academies was players striving to find a balance between the academics and the athletics, so finding it somewhat difficult. This was reiterated in discussions that I had with players and with parents as well, the balance between National Academy, school, club, and then of course the academics. So what we have done is actually reduce the frequency of training for the boys' side to once weekly, while the girls remain at twice weekly, because their games program starts up at a later point, and because we want to continue to provide more of a focus to develop and grow the girls' aspect of our program. Now, to offset this reduction with the weekly training, what we're going to implement is monthly mini camps for our players. So in essence, once a month, each age group will come into a mini camp that will be supported by the youth league schedule. So there will be no conflict for the youth players on that weekend. They will be free from any youth league games. Sessions will consist of a Friday evening session, followed by a Saturday morning session, and then a Saturday afternoon game session. So from that sense, we're able to provide more game opportunities into the program for our National Academy players. We're also able to have more intense focus periods of training for our players. And I think this is going to better prepare us when we go overseas to participate in events and tournaments that require sometimes multiple games in one day, and surely within consecutive day games. So we'll embrace that aspect within the training development. Intake have already been announced. Those will occur Wednesday the 26th, Friday the 28th, and October the 5th on a Friday. Times are from 5:30 to 7:30. All players are asked to email rtod@bermudafootball.com to register their interest to participate. Post those evaluations, we would then make invitations formally to players to come on board to National Academy program on the boys' side. The girls' intake will be announced very shortly. So once we can get through with the boys' side, we will then do similar with the under-13s and the under-15s. The increased placement for National Academy players in overseas programs is something that we've seen a trend that's increasing with each year. While this is dwindled the pool who's available locally, we think it allows for more inclusion of additional players to the program, benefiting more players and increasing the player pool. So as we've been successful in getting players overseas into the prep schools, more players have been going overseas and being based now in European academies programs, U.S. academy programs. It's an opportunity to bring others on board and just continue to increase the development of a larger pool of players available to Bermuda. So that's definitely an area that we'll be looking as well. The National Academy age levels that may be a little bit light, we will send invitations out to prospective players from the clubs to come in for trials with a view to those who are successful coming on board full-time.
You've enlisted some full-time senior national coaches in the academy. Do you see any problems in mixing up their coaching a club at the senior level to helping out at the national program?
No, I actually think that the change within the schedule to once weekly training helps to accommodate that a little bit more. I firmly believe the National Academy needs to be not only for our best players, but our best coaches. So we're always going to be looking for talented coaches, those who have shown a level of expertise, and trying to find ways how can we continue to grow and increase the pool.
Has there been an influx of girls playing, and that's why you're adding more girls?
There are. I think it's a combination of both. From our survey at the respective age groups, at U13 and U15, there are sufficient numbers for us to be able to form academy teams. But I think also by providing the opportunity and focus, we can influence the growth on the girls' side. And to go hand in hand in that is the appointment of more female coaches, in which we will invest in their development to embrace and affect the growth within those programs within Bermuda. So quite excited about Nikita Robinson, Shanette Pirot, Vinci Zool, and others who are pending to join the program, because I think that they need to be the role models to be able to move the program forward for us in Bermuda.
You talked about the coaches in place and the events coming up next year. Are you doing Andrew Bascom and Dennis Brown on a tournament-by-tournament basis as national coaches?
Easy answer is no. Our focus is certainly that those coaches see us through to the next World Cup qualifiers, which will be 2014-15. More than happy with what they bring to the table, what we've seen so far. So that's the idea. So they have on their plate two commitments: Island Games and the World Cup qualifiers.
And everyone knows that it's the association's in financial crunch. What is the backroom talk about how we're going to be able to meet those requirements?
Certainly, I think you may have, you always seem to get me to talk out of committee, but you may have heard the president announce previously that we're looking to hire a fund development officer to help us raise more funds to support our programs. So that's part of it as well. And
Maybe-
we certainly still have Catlin on board as our National Academy sponsor. So we're obviously going to be looking for more.
Maybe the president announced that in a meeting in here because we haven't heard from the president in quite some time.
Sure, but he has announced that.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you.